All right. Hey guys, my name is Chelsea Finnison. I am the founder of Team Dream Big No Excuses, and I am one of the diamond leaders under the Embrace Empire. So, Heather has asked me to come on here to talk to you guys a little bit about time. And the reason why she chose me to do that is because I am like the queen of doing everything. Um, if you guys don't know who I am, I have been a part of Team Beachbody since I've been a part of the Embrace Empire since December of 2018. And since that time, I have been working a full-time job along with roughing either field hockey or lacrosse in the spring. And spring I do lacrosse, in the fall I do field hockey, and then working full-time. And I'm also a part-time coach who is planning on trying to go full-time. And so I have to balance a lot. So when I first started this business, like I said, I was working full time and then I was roughing during 2 seasons of the year. And I really had to get good at balancing, especially during those times when I was roughing. But then there were other times when I wasn't roughing where I had a little bit more freedom. And I don't personally do well with freedom in the sense of if I have more time to do something, the more I procrastinate. And so during those times, I would feel like I was working, 6 or 7 hours a day on my coaching business, but not really seeing any productivity. And the reason that was because I was doing all of the fancy things, and not even the fancy things, but I like send a message and then watch TV, and I'd send a message and I watch TV, or I'd do it here and there, and I was never intentional about my time. And so I was working a lot and I was seeing results. I'm not going to say I wasn't seeing results, but I wasn't growing as quickly as I wanted to. Then flash forward to December of 2019, I was pregnant. I literally stopped working because I literally couldn't function. The first, basically from week 0 to week 20 or 11, I was the most exhausted person I have ever met. I could not stay awake past 5 o'clock, and I was dragging, working full time, working out, and then trying to run this business. This business took a back burner. And that's one of the nice-ish things, is that making residual income, you can still make an income even if you are taking this breaks, but you will not see your business continue to grow during that time period. So if that makes sense. So you've got to do the work every day to see it. So I was seeing the reward from 2 or 3 months earlier or a year earlier during that December time period where I was off. But it took me a while to continue to see that reward come back in. So spring of 2020, I was roughing, working full time and coaching, and I was sitting at games and sending messages in my car. Especially on days where I would just getting home at 10 o'clock at night. I'd leave my house at 6:45 and I wouldn't get home until 10 sometimes with nighttime games. So I was sending messages and working in those cracks, working during my lunch hour, finding those breaks throughout my day to be able to do this. And then the world shut down. I don't like using the word because then I get messages about it underneath. But the world shut down in March, right? And I lost a ton of income with my lacrosse season. I'm doing my taxes, so I made about a third of what I was supposed to, which is a lot of money that I lost. We're talking thousands of dollars. So I really took that as an opportunity to focus on my business. And I was jumping on calls in the midday. I was trying to get on different times, really working with my coach one-on-one to try to build this business, and really working in those cracks and implementing the business activity tracker, which is something that we can give you guys as a tool. I have created my own since that time, but really focusing on those things that we're supposed to do as coaches to move our business forward. And so I was probably working at that point 3-4 hours a day because I would work in the morning and then work at night. But again, I was home all day with my husband. We were sitting on the couch, it didn't really matter. Now, flash forward to July, And I have a 7-pound bundle of joy that now I'm doing all of this with, right? So during the first couple of weeks of life with a baby, it was really adjusting and trying to figure out what that looked like. I was working, I was sending messages, like I hit the benchmarks of what I was supposed to do. And my business kept growing. And Beachbody does not guarantee any level of success. It's all based upon your own diligence and work. But since December, middle of December of 2019, I have received a paycheck every single week, some sort of paycheck. And so I was able to get paid during my maternity leave and see that money come in. I'm very grateful that I work for a company that was able to pay me for my maternity leave. Whereas I know a lot of individuals who didn't have that opportunity. So this was a blessing for me to also be making income when I wasn't working. And so I continued to do that. And then in September of 2000, like when I went back to work, I kind of drew the line in the sand. I wouldn't say I've gone like when the people say like all in, but I drew the line in the sand and I really started committing to structured work hours. So I'll do some stuff in the morning, but my mornings are really about my mindset. And then after we put the baby down to bed, we put her down around 7:30. We get her back up at 10 because we do a dream feed. And that 2 hours of time is my work time. Like I'll post things throughout the day. I might answer a message here and there. But I know for me, I'm the queen of opening a message, not having time to respond, or being in the middle of the response, something happening, Kenzie picking up my phone now at this point and messing with something and it just going away. So something that I have really worked on is, and like my motto for the year is, I'm intentionally working with purpose and love. So intentionally working this business during times of my day. You can still do power hours. You can still do power pockets. I tend to work better if I just sit down and focus and I can, get out a certain goal of things. There are some days where it takes me 30 minutes. There are some nights where I'm sitting there for 2.5 hours. So it really just depends upon what that goal is for that day, how many messages I have to respond to. But it's possible, guys. Like I work, I work from 8 to 4 at my job. I go downstairs. I take care of my baby for 3 hours. I put her down. My husband, I put her down to bed. And then from there, I'm working my business. And then I go to sleep. I wake up. I do my workout, my personal stuff, like my mindset stuff, and then I go on my day. So it really is about finding the cracks in your day, in your life, and in how you want to make this work for it to work for you. If you've got an hour, you can make this work in an hour if you're diligent in doing it. If you put your mind to it and hustle for an hour, you can do it. So I hope that is helpful. Hope that gives you some time understanding. We don't want you to have to do this all day. We don't. This should be fun and this should be a source of freedom and helping and inspiration. And if it's not, then we need to talk about that and figure out what we can do to help you. And I know that you're going to want to do this with us. Bye, guys.